options are Akali, Sylas, and I think the LeBlanc that we mentioned earlier could be an option as well. The upside of Akali is that I think your mid-jungle 2v2 becomes a lot better than it could otherwise be. I think that obviously we have seen the Poppy and Azir combo be pretty decent because you can utilize the Azir wall for Poppy to get as much burst out as possible. But at the very least, Lucid and Showmaker having a decent 2v2, particularly post-6, I think is absolutely essential for DK, because in any game where they've looked good, it's basically been through Showmaker specifically. This bot lane, though, I think Lucid is going to have to pay a visit to that, and that also means that
I think he might have to live there.
Yeah, well, hopefully he does.
See how they're going to do it. You hop into the Rift for game 1. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1. T1 taking on D+, and already D+ grouping up towards the bottom side. I think this might be a trend as we look further forward into this game, because another thing that we didn't even mention, we mentioned the fact that they have to focus on bottom lane, right? But we didn't mention that it's Oner on Poppy. And when does he ever go to the top side of the map as Poppy? Like, never?
No, I don't think he should. Oh, okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about. First and foremost, we have the quadruple Halo Blades. Again, reiterating that this laning phase is basically all about the level 1.
Yes.
And maybe as mentioned, they can look, or rather DK can look for an all-in and actually try to get some lane out of that way.
Though?
So yeah, that's the second thing I was talking about. We've been seeing this more and more, even with the... It originally started as a response to double support item, where you would both start Dorans, and then go from there. But what this does is it means that Keria is so much harder to actually take down. He went Barrier as well, so they should suspect that he's coming towards this objective.
It's a very impatient blue buff as well that is going to move back into the pit. Oner starting that one up again. I think every amount of time... Oh, there's a flash in with the wallbang from Oner. Lucid trying to ease him out of this. And he should be able to escape, but it looks like Oner has won the battle. As Faker's teleporting back. Oner is still here, going to be able to lock this one down, but Kellen a little bit late on this one, and Showmaker win the game off that. Did you know?
I do know, yeah. We both... We witnessed it together. Man, I can't get over that barrel performance yesterday.
It was pretty impressive.
It was something else. And right now, that flash is a valuable cooldown that is going to go down. They are aware of everything that's happening. Ideally, Lucid would just like just one.
Yep.
Just a grub, and I think he'll be able to get it.
We'll be able to grab that experience. We'll be able to lock that one away. You can see he's behind a couple of camps.
The extra level of scrutiny that you're going to be under. As
that was a dangerous one there from Faker, but Oner is going to be here. Killer Instinct going to be thrown out, and that is Oner just picking up the kill. Good bait to come through there, and Showmaker really wanted it. And the Killer Instinct is an ability for Kai'Sa. It's not Akali. That is perfect execution, but it is absolutely fine. It didn't work out here.
This laning phase. I think it makes sense because bot lane is bleeding. No ultimate available for Lucid, and yeah, I think that I understand his attempt. Is going to try and go for a steal here.
All right, Steadfast Presence does come on over, and Lucid might have to just flash away. He is going to. Didn't really have to, but sometimes you just want an opportunistic chance at a Drake. Okay.
Yeah, and if the rest of his team is there at the same time and there's some chaos, then maybe that works. But on the first time we've seen Lucid not be on the same page of the rest of his team as Kellen.
Yeah, can he find the Bone Skewer is the question. He decides instead to throw Showmaker back. The arrow is going to be picked up, and there is the kill. Oner comes on in and takes down the Akali, but Faker does burn down as well. So D+ are on the board, but I think that T1 are on the board once again, unless Kellen can get himself out, and it looks like he should be able to do so. Gives him a thumbs up as he exits. And the thumbs up might be aimed here towards his bottom side, because that's really finding the most of the benefit. Is aiming down to 50%. This could be diveable. They have Fate's Call, remember.
Lucid is waiting. Oh, gotta hit that one. Not gonna be the case, and no real opportunity is aiming!
Okay. Well, sometimes your turret is safe, sometimes your turret is not as safe. Chronicler, that's what I'm learning here.
Hey, Kingan's doing well, Atlas.
Yeah, Kingan's having a great game. Hyperprox coming on down here as he does manage to get the stun from the wallop. We'll send Zeus back. Zeus actually doing a decent job staying up in farm. You can see 90 to 96, but that wave might be lost. As Owner is going to come on over and take himself a grub. Kellen up here towards the top side as there is the Gnar, but it's actually broken. Zeus going all out, does manage to keep himself alive and out of CC.
And while that was happening, grubs were being taken, and we are kind of reaching critical mass here for T1. And I want to reiterate, it's not like their composition skills poorly. We have some time. I think there's still some opportunities for DK. I don't think this one is done just yet.
Ooh, Keria could be in a lot of trouble here. Another ult does go basically nowhere. The arrow is going to fly through, though, as Lucid gets himself a permafrost, but he's still tanking the turret. Faker is going to be taken down first, though, and Lucid, another couple autos need to be there, but the volley is blocked. And now Showmaker looks for it, doesn't find the backflip shuriken, and Keria will stay alive. Kellen, not so lucky.
It's just a rousing success as... Oh, Kellen.
Yeah, Kellen is very dead. We could probably surmise what happened there. Kellen was trying to do vision things and died. Because there were bad guys in the area.
Yeah, I keep going back to the shuriken flip, because if you get the shutdown on Keria, then maybe you call that worth, but now 2.5k gold lead, getting bigger and bigger here.
Yeah, this is starting to look a little bit rough for D+. I like that they're still playing with gusto, though, and there hasn't been any of these big team fights that we know Gnar can definitely perform in. We know that Kingen, in the past, when Kingen was someone that, you know, was performing a whole lot better, it was his team fighting that was the great aspect of him as a player. Does have an opportunity to
up here, and DK really were looking for this trap.
Yeah, Arrow is going to snag Kellen there, and he's just dead. Just no chance. And he almost got himself out of the way, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow hitbox has been a thing for many, many, many years.
And this is one of the reasons why when the Pyke lock-in came, we're like, huh. Because Kellen, generally, you know, you have to be a Pyke guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Kellen is a Pyke guy.
I don't think so either.
You know who is an Ashe guy?
Not inspiring as I.
You know who is an Ashe guy? You can get past the front line.
Aiming. Oh, gonna have to flash, and does also have to cleanse because the arrow still clips him. And Kellen now going to be at the mercy of Keria as well. Gumayusi catches up to, oh my goodness, just Pierce Rend and he's dead. And yeah, Keria will now shut them out of their own jungle. That ward will survive at least for the moment, but this Rift Herald not going to be so lucky, as we're going to have a look at the difference in the supports, and that is whoa. That's a difference.
Hey, Kellen has 100% kill participation, man.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, no,
close to 100% death participation as well.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying coming into the game as well. The Pyke basically is going to have to either flip the lane or find a really big impact outside of lane. And we're slowly running out of opportunities.
Fate's goal. And that's it's a pretty good ability.
He still has his sums.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Guma had to heal.
Ah. It's looking a little bit dire. As Zeus will look for the Gnar, gets himself out of the way though, not wanting to dive, so it was in Fog of War, so not going to opt into it. As Faker looking to knock down this turret, that will be their second of the game, really extending T1's global gold advantage. 6,000 is now that lead, creeping further and further.
And as far as individual plays go, obviously DK is still struggling. Vicky's fault.
There's a lot of control wars.
He has a spell shield.
Yeah. Yeah, the spell shield certainly helps.
It is a big problem.
But if they can break it, Showmaker not quite able to do so. Faker sidestepping really nicely. And now, Lucid looked for that opportunity. He flashes. The spell shield's still there, though.
Hey, flash for flash. Yes, it's something, I guess. Huma actually going for Edge of Night here.
Wow.
That is, yeah, I mean, you're a Fed Kalista. The enemy tank is not in the best of places at the moment.
And also, like, their engage is the Glacial Prison.
It is.
And you just avoid that as Empress Divide is going to throw Lucid underneath this turret. Keria just free firing, but they do manage to take down Faker, and there's the double for Keria as well. Zeus now looking for this, does find the third Q, and aiming, gonna miss another ultimate. It is, and Zeus is running real quickly.
It's a 1v2!
It is. And aiming's now melee range with a K'Sante, and now he's dead. Kingen is now mini Gnar as well. Able to get out of the way of a few of these Qs though, and Zeus gonna get flashed on. There it is, the boomerang to the back of the head. That was very close to a 2-for-0 for Zeus. Kingen with good movement.
I think here we see the lethality Varus in particular, I think just has zero threat. And aiming and Kingen are also not on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, aiming is walking back to the wave and trying to clear, whereas King is still moving forward. And particularly against Zeus, like, yes, he ends up dying, but that still is not going to feel good for DK. Like, not even remotely.
No. Unfortunately, he's been aiming, but he hasn't been hitting.
And he's an archer. They do still have a lot of the other teamfight ultimates available.
Oh, Arrow going to connect once again as Faker just scoops in the Pyke, who's dead mid-push over the wall.
Kingen's Maganar, like, it's now or never for DK, but...
Oh no, Lucid has to Arctic Assault himself out of this. There's going to be no smite in the pit, and Kingen's Maganar is running out. You can see low health bar here onto Ona, but it's still just ticking down, and Keria is just pushing the jungler away. He's going to solo him! And now Steadfast Presence means you're not making it out of this one. Zeus going to pull the Nara around. And Showmaker, can you be the hero is the question. Looking to get over the wall, but he's not going to get there. Ona just being Poppy and avoiding death as Keria says he's the 80 carry now as he takes down aiming another solo kill. He's 7-0-5.
I forgot who told it to us at some point, but there was someone that said, Keria never gets to play Ashe. It just doesn't happen. And this was
I think everyone's
way
been
back.
saying it
Everyone
for a
has
really
been,
long
no,
time.
I know that, but I feel like we hadn't really been truly reminded why that is the case. Up until this game.
But now we are very reminded.
Resistance and Showmaker doesn't even get that kill.
Hey, bounty goal. They're only 11,000 gold behind now. As aiming is going to cleanse, but he's still down to 50% health. Fate's Call are going to come through here as Keria's thinking about it. Not going to work out there as Keria's top damage. That's
not fair!
Things that are happening in this game, I guess. And D+ desperately trying to defend these Nexus turrets. Also probably thinking a lot more about what to do in game number 2 because this one is all over but the Cryon. As Lucid, nice little fade away there onto Ona, but it's onto Ona, so it doesn't really matter. Kingen's got a Mega Narbar, but not a lot of health. Because he's just taking poke damage here from Faker. The flash in, Faker, Emperor's Divide onto 3, and he's going to be absolutely fine. Ona finds a double knock up. The arrow sails by majestically, and Kellen is off on the side. He's not going to be able to stop this Nexus turret from going down, and not going to be able to do anything about this Nexus that's also about to explode. Aiming, going to die once again, and T1 will celebrate just before they finish the task. And that one did not quite work out there for D+.
You don't get to play the game. This, though, kind of the same thing. The value of the Vi really is going to be pretty substantially mitigated. Same for the Rakan. If you have the ability to just eat your carries. And I gotta say, the Team 1 composition. You have great hard engage. You have what I assume will be a lethal tempo. Varus, Gumayusi both gets it front line, and there's a lot of innate safety with the shielding from Orianna, as well as obviously the Kanch. That one is the no-brainer. And then you have a top-side matchup that I expect you'll be winning as well. So a lot has to come from Showmaker here, trying to find the early prio and maybe utilize that, maybe that.
All right. Already, we see an altered Q coming out from Showmaker here. Does find a little bit of damage, as you can see Gumayusi. A little pixel brush spots out a few members of D+ making their way down, but he will be all right. This is dangerous though. As you can see, avoids the Q.
Okay.
And just they'll accept the ghost and let him go.
And I think Guma should be pretty happy. Obviously, they weren't aware that he was there. I think so. Actually able to make out his way. Only has to use his gun. As Zeus is deciding to be a complete nuisance here. Yep. If he's able to maybe reset a timer here, put Lucid on the back foot right from the get-go.
He's able to do so. Does make the Blue Sentinel a little bit upset at him before they do make their way back to the lane.
They do know this is happening, but I don't know if there's anything you can do. Like the Q smite?
Yeah, how do you actually stop that one?
And the thing here is that Lucid specifically went W start, which is the best way to start off on Vi, as in the most damage and the best clear. But if you don't have Q, like you can't really punish the Aatrox ever there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ona's looking to
I was
wrap
about to say,
around.
like,
That's
I imagine you just clear, yeah.
Well, you can see we're looking for a little bit of a knock-up already. The Ignite is down as Aiming looks for the Q. The flash forward, and Kellen grabs first blood in the bottom lane. They took last game personally.
Dying, and the call is going to naturally put him ahead. But not really anything game-breaking. And we are seeing Zayas showcase again his proficiency on this Aatrox as owner. We'll see who's able to get off the Rel Classic, which is get all grubs at the same time, utilizing the Q. Looks like gonna completely get it, as Lucid might take a peek here.
Yeah, all very close. Being able to pick up one of them, isn't quite able to do so. So Ona gets all 3 grubs in this lane in comparison to last game, as Gumayusi is able to dodge himself out of the way, has the Ghost this time around. Good movement, but he's still going down low. They do not manage to get the Feather pullback to get any sort of snare. Looking like he's just having the time of his life here in this lane right now. Going to find that Q as well, as Kingen able to dash away from the second one. But look at this. Zayas is just making sure that Kingen isn't allowed to walk towards this cannon minion. All Out is going to be completely mitigated by the Infernal Chain. Kill in this game thus far. Lucid looking to try and opt into finding something else here, as Keria going to be engaged on. Vault Breaker going to come in as well, as Showmaker's making his way down. Gets the flash out from the Tahm Kench, and that will be valuable. Targeting this guy is going to be important, as Chains of Corruption going to come in there as Featherstorm comes down. Very aggressive move from Aiming, as Gumayusi's down low, but Ona will turn up, looking to try and save his bottom lane, and that is going to work out here as Faker reaps the rewards in mid.
And they're not actually able to get a kill there. Area.
Yeah, Grand Entrance coming in. Another Ignite is down as well, but only one Feather does pass through. Battle Dance going to have to be utilized here by Kellen, uses the second charge as well, as Aiming just taking shot after shot. The flash is late, but it's still going to be enough there, as the Magnet Storm does pull back the Rakan. But Lucid looking for his opportunity. The flash forward doesn't work there from Kellen. The Keria not going to go aggressive. There's the Mantra and Cuba. Gumayusi sidesteps it. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive. And now Keria, I think, knows his fate. Looks for the Tongue Lash to try and find a cheeky little kill, but Showmaker might be gifted too. Aiming, actually, going to be the one that collects that, as Faker continues to mow down the minions.
And this is very much a game, Atlas. And after the last one, I'm just happy that we get to watch some actual League of Legends.
And Lucid actually looking to try and potentially pressure, but it looks like it's not going to happen. And Ona going for 6 out of 6 on the grubs. Is the satisfaction? The satisfaction's coming, right? Oh, no. Just died a little bit too early. There we go. That was still pretty satisfying.
It was okay. Could have been better.
It could have. As Keria doesn't have flash, remember. Grand Entrance just going to be sidestepped, though, and he is able to get himself out of the way because or anything like that. But still, if Zayas finds himself in a team fight and can run amok, it could be very dangerous times. We saw what Dudu did yesterday, and that was pretty ridiculous. As now Ona looking for an opportunity. They haven't started off this Drake, as now Kellen burning down. He's able to get himself out, and now Keria looking for his opportunity. Tongue not going to find too much, though.
And I was about to say, this is a big test for DK, because I feel like they haven't really been able to find any team fight. Not just in this game or last game, but in recent games, right? They just haven't been able to really string together any super convincing looking team fight. And right there, Kellen goes in very overeager, gets punished, and that'll be the second Drake going over to T1.
Unless its teleport is going to come in. There is the teleport, but this Drake is just going to go. Can they find a team fight on the back end, though, is the question. Mantra Q does a fair bit of work here as Showmaker looking to make his way over. Magnet Storm is the engage on top of him. The Shockwave is fantastic, but not enough damage. And the Rel's going to go down all out onto Keria as Kingen looks to catch up to him, but it does not work. Dissonance movement speed's going to be there. And Zayas, he's parked in the top lane. He's going to grab first turret blood.
Oh, I'm going to call not worth on that one. Yes, they get the one kill onto Owner, but on the top side, your turret's going to fall. Like, Zayas is going to be up 40 CS as well as a full turret, and you invest a double teleport as well.
Yeah, that is a lot. It's Keria. He's going to dive on over, gets himself a Feather Storm for his trouble. Bit more damage now coming out of Aiming, but
it does mean that Zayas, if they can take him down, that'd be really good. If he gets a kill, though, even a single one would already be very much not worth.
You were talking about the fact that D+ were pretty keen to flip the game in the last one. It looks like they are going for a different playstyle this time around, not wanting to opt into more of these hyper-aggressive plays. Because, of course, they knew they had a man advantage going for that double TP. That was more of a by the numbers, we're winning. I respect it.
It's still aggression, but it's tempered.
Yeah.
Which we all know is better.
Sort of like strategy. As now Aiming and Zeus going to be fighting one another. There is the flash forward. Quickness there as well as Zeus in a bunch of trouble. Still does a fair bit of work and still is able to heal a lot. And now Kellen just really wants to try and stop him. It's not going to work out there, and he will survive. And that means T1, with man advantage in mid, will be able to take down that outer turret. Very nicely played. And Zeus, just cool, calm, and collected.
Hey, Kellen invested flash as well.
Or at least have to flash, right? Well, he does. Yeah, there was a Vi there this time around. So cease and desist. Cease and desist, making us look a bit silly. So,
finally punished.
Yeah, there we go. Will be taken down, and so that is bounty gold going on over here as well. We know that Aiming absolutely loves any opportunity he gets to hop onto the Xayah. Same thing can be said for Kellen and his Rakan as he goes in once again. They're looking for Oner, who will get charmed by the quickness, and he looks to be going down. There we go, Lucid locks down that kill. Now Keria going to be slowed up and is going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. Faker once again hitting turrets. Every time there's a fight, I feel like they're taking something on the map.
He's Chovying.
He is.
He actually is. As we do see, Zeus gets his ultimate forward. I wonder what the miscommunication was there, because Keria did have Devour. So I don't know if he wanted to wait till the very end. Faker still not in the slightest impressed. Just continues to push on there, and I do think that you're not going to get this inner turret. You need to actually take the dragon, and they've delayed that a significant amount. Someone needs to go back, or Faker is just going to get an in-it.
Yeah, no, and he's just going to hit it.
He's going to get another
until they convince him not to. So Soul Point not going to be picked up by T1. They will break an inhibitor turret. They might also take down Keria. That would certainly be a good thing here for D+, but it's the grander problem is your base is dying. That is grub value right there.
6 grubs!
Yeah.
Yeah, Faker is, I don't know how much gold he's sitting on right now, but he is running, giggling to the back as soon as his back completes.
He's a minute ahead of the clock as well, as he is just going to distance himself away from Lucid. So it's going to, like, I mean, this money is still sitting in the pocket.
Oh, Keria sacrifices himself so we get the, I think he could have just stayed a little bit further back and achieved the same as Albatross coming in here.
Yep.
Response from DK.
Herald just going to wrap it around, and Oner, very nice driving there. Beautiful stuff. Keen will be able to deal with it, so the Herald is not going to take down the turret completely. Faker probably happy with that, wants to try and kill every single turret. We are now going to see D+ tend to some of these side lanes, grab themselves this outer turret. That should be able to get themselves into a gold lead once again, as Lucid backing away. Baron has just spawned about a minute ago. Something that they might be able to consider.
Shorter range of reliably getting these side lanes shoved in. So they do need to be careful, but I think their poke with this Karma should be enough to do good on neutral setups if they actually make a call, right? You need to force T1 to do something, because otherwise, as we have seen, T1 are not going to break. They're not going to fall for the bluff. They're just like, no, we're going to keep pushing.
Off on the side, wanting to stop an Aatrox flank angle, potentially. Now they're looking for Faker. Shockwave is just used on top of his head. Bit of a mistake there from the GOAT, as Keria devours him. And he's not going to be punished too much for that one, as Zeus slinks
the
into the brush. Oh my goodness, they get the ward down. The World Ender comes in, and now the Featherstorm is there for Aiming. That'll keep him safe for now, as Oner is getting so low, and Lucid dives on top of the Aatrox, but it's not going to be enough to stop him ripping them to shreds. They get the knockup, but is it going to be enough? The answer's no. He is just too big. And Oner able to jump in on top. It's a double kill for Faker as well, and somehow it's a clean ace.
And T1 didn't get a single kill up until this point. The flank from Zeus ends up being enough.
And we were talking about this as well. Is he just going to do the doo-doo flank angle thing that we saw yesterday?
He did.
And he did exactly the doo-doo flank angle thing that we saw yesterday.
They get the Nash, they get the Dragon, they are setting up Soul Point, they're denying a possible stacking of these Ocean Drakes, and they're going to chew for this. There won't be any opportunity for DK to really do anything against this. And actually get the perfect cooldown, right? Like, you're looking ideally to really shred for the entire enemy team. But wasn't really an angle there, and you can see, like, what do you do?
Yep, no translation needed for that one. That was not exactly what D+ were aiming for. That was unintended pun. And T1, they will just push. And remember, they can, if they take this inhibitor turret, they can move up towards the top lane and grab another one there. Possibly a flank angle coming in here from Kellen as there's the quickness. The Devour comes out immediately. Faker in relative safety. There's the Shockwave as well. They're trying to keep themselves alive, and it's a good redemption as Owner will be punished. So D+, they invest a whole lot of their health bars, but they are able to get at least one off the back of it.
And crucial there was no Aatrox. Small win here with Owner going down, but the unfortunate reality is the rest of the carries for T1 still very much available. And they're still able to get the inner, so the gold lead's still going to Balloon. But at the very least, the inhibitors stay up for now. And that is something that DK can cling on to. They're not looking too hot at bringing us to that third game is Lucid.
Yeah, looking for the angle here. Doesn't have Cease and Desist available. Will be able to find the Vault Breaker into Faker. Goes golden once again. Knock up, not going to work out there for Kellen as Carrier just walks at him menacingly. And, okay, Kingen, can you make this one happen? They managed to take down the Tahm Kench. Zeus, once again, he gets himself into the fight, aiming, taking all of the damage in the universe. But the K'Sante's doing some K'Sante things. Faker able to take him down in the end. But look at this. The world does seem to be ending here as Showmaker tries to put him on a leash. It's not quite working. At least he's able to slow him down. The Inner Flame comes out once again, and Zeus does need to be careful, so he will back away. Karma is pretty powerful on this patch. Might have some opportunities to get something done.
Yeah, the only downside is that Showmaker, by making these plays for his team, has actually been behind his Faker.
Okay, they're going for the angle here. His quickness into the backline. Kellen just taking so many arrows, and Gumushi's going to lock that one down. Owner getting himself in there as Kerry gets the knock up onto aiming. Good feather pull, but Kerry is just keeping him out of the fight. Lucid now trying to be a frontline for him as they dive on in. Kerry gets a double knock up, and the flashes are now raining in, but they've lost the Xayah, and that means they've lost the fight. Carrier looks like a solo laner, and he also thinks like one as well as he looks for the 1v1 against the low health Kingen. Kingen is the K'Sante, right? So he's feeling okay about it. Zeus gonna have to come on over and finish the job, but it is going to work out. Ocean Soul gonna be gifted to T1, and that may have just been the metaphorical straw that broke the camel's back.
Just isn't rush. And hey, aiming now, getting to his fourth item. Maybe if Showmaker can finish another, that would be something as, oh.
Yeah, there's the Baron.
Over the wall. That's gone.
Yep. T1 are going to be able to lock that one down. I don't think realistically DK had very many opportunities to get over there, but
no.
This should be almost backbreaking for D+, being able to defend these Baroned up waves. It's going to be very, very difficult. He's going to have to try and find themselves a team fight to be able to get anything done here. Aiming going to be able to help secure this. Everyone getting a blue buff. Now, the map is going to shrink. Plus, going to try to convince Owner to leave the area, but instead they are opting in for this kill onto the Aatrox. He does just pop like a balloon. That's what happens when you can't push your buttons. T1 are just going to destroy this bottom inhibitor turret. DK going to look to try and back, and they got an Aatrox once again, and they lost their base as a result. Once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we are looking for like a really deep flank opportunity, because they are a member up. They're setting up a lot of vision. I think they're hoping to maybe try and get something going here, but at the same time, like without aiming there isn't really an opportunity here. We'll see. They are spotted on vision. They do have a pretty decent idea. This could be the Hail Mary that gets DK back in the game.
Yeah, and they see the fact that aiming is walking on in. Kellen gives away his position relatively early, though.
That should be it. I think they needed to pull the trigger there. Zeus is going to be up in 15 seconds. That could have been the Elder.
Yeah, 13 seconds now is teleport available. So not going to be an opportunity for D+ to flip anything, right? If the teleport was down, maybe you'd think you'd have a bit of extra time.
Hey, they're on the map. And
true.
Lucid has been around an Elder flip or two.
He has. He certainly has. For quite a few years as well, we might add. Faker taking some damage here from Showmaker, who does have his hat now completed. See whether Lucid can do what is, against Rel, sometimes considered the impossible.
They got to find a miracle here, Atlas.
They got to pull the trigger because this Elder is going down extraordinarily low. And there is Zeus looking for that angle to make his way into this fight. D+, you're going to have to try and pull the trigger. They're not going to be able to take it. And there's the flash forward from Gumayusi. Does not find the Chains of Corruption. The carrier finds the tongue lash onto Showmaker. They're trying their very best to get themselves out of the way as Oner a little bit early on the Magnet Storm, as now the cease and desist is going to come through onto Gumayusi, but Lucid is just going to burn down. The Wrath of the Dragon will land on his head. And T1, they're not going to be stopped now. Exodia has been completed and the Nexus is in their sights.
And T1 going to push for the 2-0 here, putting them in first place.
Yeah, there's the Grand Nexus. They're going to be able to find a little bit of flipperoonie onto Faker here, who does manage to Zhonya's. There's the Devour though. And aiming, trying to just keep Zeus at arm's length. He might be able to do so as he dashes away and not going to quite work out there. T1 still have some Nexus turrets to deal with. Maybe the Eulogy started a little early there, Atlas.
Hold up.
Well, this inhibitor's going to go down, so there's 3 inhibs. So maybe the Eulogy just needs to be extended a little bit longer.
Maybe coming in.
Yeah, Teleport is going to bring Faker back in once again. Featherstorm going to come down as Carrier just standing on top of him. There goes Kellen. And Gumayusi, he's still alive. He's still got full health as aiming is just going to get CC'd and destroyed. There's the double. Showmaker's up. But he's going to miss the Q, and the Wrath of the Dragon comes out of Faker. They will be able to take down the Nexus. T1 2-0 against D+, and they will claim first place in the LCK.